We encourage our listeners with an inclusive, intelligent, and innovative alternative media experience. On reggae2reggae.com, we encourage our listeners with an inclusive, intelligent, and innovative alternative media experience.
Are you struggling with some kind of health condition? Is it arthritis, high blood pressure, Crohn's disease, constipation, AIDS, cancer? Whatever it is, we can show you how to get your natural defenses up so that your bodies will deal with your condition. Join us as our studio audience on reggae2reggae.com when we will teach you how to celebrate every moment of your life. Call us at 336 7350 for information. Limited space. Are you struggling with some kind of health condition? Is it arthritis, high blood pressure, Crohn's disease, constipation, AIDS, cancer? Whatever it is, we can show you how to get your natural defenses up so that your bodies will deal with your condition. Join us as our studio audience on reggae2reggae.com when we will teach you how to celebrate every moment of your life. Call us at 336 7350 for information. Limited space.
On reggae2reggae.com, we encourage our listeners with an inclusive, intelligent, and innovative alternative media experience.
Again. And we are just sorting out some technical difficulties because I am hoping that you're all hearing this absolutely pivotal pieces of information because it is absolutely essential that we understand who we are or we will not be able to do what we need to do. So we are looking at who am I? Generally, and this is something that has been promised to every single solitary one of us. First of all, we are a disciple. Remember, and how do we become a disciple? Follow back him. That is the Son. And everything that he does, you do it just like how he does it. And you must have success. Right? So, but in addition to that, we have been made. You are back on CelebrateLife.me on reggae2reggae.com. So, we also have to be an eagle. I was made as an eagle to soar above all the issues of life. It does not matter what comes. I am not no chicken scraping in the dirt to go find worms or anything. I am an eagle. And I will soar above all the challenges that face those lesser creatures who choose to be chickens. I'm also a warrior. Listen to me. You cannot be a warrior unless you have embraced your passion. And listen to me. Everybody is passionate about something. They don't have to be as loud or vociferous like me. But you ever see some people who are passionate and quiet? Watch them. Them are more power than the mountain like me. So whatever it is, whatever passion has been put into your innermost beings, know that we are warriors, but we don't fight like the rest. We have an armor. The armor is one that you have to keep on if you want to be a successful warrior. It is the helmet of salvation. You must know that you know that you know that you have been saved from all problems. Not just saved from going to hell. God, that is the least of the matter. You have to live here on earth. And so you must know how to be saved from the challenges that you face. How to put them over on the person who has all the answers, who how to go to this book and find the answers. You have got to know that that is what this is about. Your mind is covered. And then coming down, the next thing is the breastplate of salvation. You know what? That is the same thing. Because guess what? When you know, like I know, that every negative situation or problematic thing that will face me, every challenge, every problem, if you want to call it that, I have the answer. And so it's like what do you call this thing? Part of the armor, the shield. No, but that's not the shield. The breastplate of righteousness, the shield of faith. My foot shod with the preparation, ready to carry this word all over the world. Of the fact that this word works. See the sword there? Sword of the Spirit. That is the Spirit that has been put in you. And it's that sword that you're holding out, the sword that can cut between marrow and bone and everything, spirit and soul. That the sword is the sword that always gets its target and wins. And what have I forgotten? The belt of truth. The belt of truth is like a girdle, that you put around your loins. Remember yesterday, we spoke about the loins being the reproductive area where everything emanates from, where you birth new visions, and where the actualization of those visions coming to pass comes from. Well, I'm here to tell you, you have to gird that belt tight and make sure that it protects that area so that everything coming out of there will be consistent with the spirit that is within you. Well, let's see if I have everything. One day I was doing an analysis. It was in exegesis class, and I was doing this analysis of the whole arm, shield of faith, and guess what? I realized that every single part is a word. Come out and this way. Every part. People used to say, oh, the sword is the word of God, and the shield. But guess what? We are going to get shield of faith. Faith comes by hearing the word of God. Everything comes by the word, the word, the word. That is why number 2 says, God's word works. I have gone over our 3-part plan for doing everything successfully. It is this: God's love is unconditional. And God's love gives. Starting with His giving us life, and He gives all the time. All the time. So if we are not able to make love the foundation and the focus of everything we do, then it has no foundation. That means it's not going to stand up. It is going to fall down. God's love gives. 2, God's words work every time. You see this word? It works every time. God's word works. And number 3, God's succeeds all the time, always, and in all ways. Once you have that riveted in your mind, your consciousness, and your spirit, what is a little joke in your finger? No big deal. You understand? It's a great reminder that I need to keep tuned to my spirit. Thank you for the joke through my finger. Because anything happened to you is because you won't listen the other way. That is why it happened to you. Because anything really dramatic that happens to you is never the first warning. It is always the last warning, because the Lord knows you would have never listened until you get that happen. Well, I am going to listen because I don't want any more life to throw it down. So that's a warrior. You have a whole army. And you are fighting a battle that you win. It has been won already. We are athletes. Why do you think I lift weights every morning, huh? Every day, every morning, and then I do my press-ups. Look here, if you don't work out, if you don't practice, if you don't keep your muscles in good condition, you cannot succeed. So it is in the physical, so it is in the spiritual. My mantra is this: no food until you get your spiritual food. No workout until you do your spiritual workout. You can't be looking upon your physical muscles to deal with the flaps. You notice them coming back again? I will tell you about another program to get rid of the flaps without doing any exercise. But you have to have your priorities straight. First. Why? Because you're following after the example. And once you decide that you're going to follow the example, he said, before day, whenever your day starts, he comes out and communes with the Father to get all the inspiration and rejuvenation and direction and empowerment and everything you need. So that is important. God's love gives. God's words work, and God's plan succeeds. So that's the eagle, then the warrior. All of us are in these it's not specific ones. The next section will come to the specifics. Eagle, warrior, athlete. And I want you to do the other ones, and these are group ones. Before we go to the break, it says, we are a holy nation, a peculiar people, a nation of kings and queens, royalty. So those are just a few of the general things that we need to remember. Who are you? Who am I? All of us are made as eagles. All of us are made as warriors. All of us are made as athletes who win. And in addition to that, we are a holy nation, a peculiar people, a nation of kings and queens. Why, I tell you, I don't know if people could have stayed outside the house. After the break, we're going to go to the specifics of who am I.
Since the first public demonstration of radio by Nikola Tesla in 1893, no one ever thought of putting the 2 hours of music together until we created reggae2reggae.com. On reggae2reggae.com, we encourage our listeners with an inclusive, intelligent, and innovative alternative media experience. On reggae2reggae.com, we encourage our listeners with an inclusive, intelligent, and innovative alternative media experience.
Are you struggling with some kind of health condition? Is it arthritis, high blood pressure, Crohn's disease, constipation, AIDS, cancer? Whatever it is, we can show you how to get your natural defenses up so that your bodies will deal with your condition. Join us as our studio audience on reggae2reggae.com when we will teach you how to celebrate every moment of your life. Call us at 336-7350 for information. Limited space. Are you struggling with some kind of...
So Cheryl Chung on reggae2reggae.com. Dr. Cheryl Chung on reggae2reggae.com. Dr.
We're on again. And remember the section we're doing, your specifics. So undress for my specifics. Remember I told you, I am not a fox. I am not a cougar. I'm a racehorse. And I looked everywhere in my wardrobe to find something that looked like a racehorse, and I couldn't find anything. So I went with one of my favorite fabrics, Jungle Prince. Because I guess I have a little identification with a tiger and the whole cat family. So, here we are in section where we need to find out what is your specifics of who you were made to be. And we're going to be looking at how do I know exactly who I was made to be. You know, one of the things is that you need to find some other thing in nature that you identify with that is one of God's creations, that you have the same characteristics with. You know, I know certain people who, you know, identify with a rose. And, you know, they have the same sort of fragrance as a rose. They have the same sort of a color as a rose. They have the same sort of a lifestyle as a rose, including the prickles. But there must be an animal, a plant, or some other life form that you identify with. Just like how I identify with all the cats and all the racehorses. So you've got to find that and see what other part of creation mirrors you and your aura, you and your passion, you and your, how you think of yourself, your ideas, etc. Because, you know, when you were doing personality and temperament in psychology, there were two things that were brought out very, very clearly. Those two words mean two different things. For our purposes, personality is self-selected. That means you decide you have this, you display this personality at home, this one at work, that one as a parent, that one in different circumstances at church, it's appropriate for this and blah, blah, blah. That's your personality, it's self-selected. It can change. But you see your temperament? Your temperament is permanent, inborn, put in there by your Creator for purpose. There is nobody else on this earth who can do what I do, the way I do it. There is nobody else that can appeal to certain specific people in the audience and in my future audiences like I do, because God made me for that purpose. Now, I am not bigging up myself. I am trying to show you that God made you exactly the same way, specifically for what He intended for you to do. And you have already been empowered to do it. It's right there inside in the spirit realm. And so our challenge and our whole journey in life is about pulling it out and bringing it into the fore and then transferring it using the 3 principles God's love gives. And so your love has got to give. God's words work. And so you have to employ them in every situation. He sent His word to heal us. He sent His word to empower us. He sent His word to whatever we need. And then go forward with a confidence, knowing that His plan always succeeds. And so, you don't need boldness. You just need to step out because you have all the faculty that you need. So, don't worry about the fact that you don't have a lion. Use a cheetah. Don't worry about the fact that you don't have anything. Use a substitute. Call those things that are not as if they were until they become. But the point is this: you need to understand that you have it. It is within you. The only person who can stop it coming out is you. And so this is why we have this program, this station, to showcase all those wonderful things that have been put into us for purpose and eternity, so that we can start to live out our individual purposes and therefore live out our communal purposes and therefore live out our national purposes. What was Jamaica created to do? You are a part of it. And you have got to patch it and start working. You are an eagle. You are a warrior. You are an athlete. You are a kingdom of priests and kings and queens. A peculiar people who are peculiar than Jamaicans. That part we live in out, but let's patch into the rest. So, the last thing I want to say is, how do you know? What are the keys to your own specifics? It's your trees and your visions. The more impossible they are, the more doable they will be, because you can't manage it by yourself, and so you have to have the supernatural intervention of your Creator. And guess what? He's running you down to give it to you. So don't run away. Turn around. Take it from Him. Remember, I told you about time when God do a pupalik over His people, over me. That's why I always have to do a pupalik when I dance. guess what? He says in Zephaniah 3:17, look what he says, I am so joyful over my people when they obey me that I just have to do a spin and a flip. What is that but a pupali? God, I can't do it if you want, but it's the same thing. And that is who he is. You know what? He says, I am searching around the whole world to find someone who is going to operate in spirit, that is according to that spirit I put into them, and in truth, according to the truth that that spirit I have put in them is giving them. He says that's what I do every day. And when I find that person, he is the person or she is the person that I'm going to show myself strong on their behalf. Can you believe that? So guess what? Every day of God's life, you know what he does? Just goes on road and looks to see down in earth, how can I find somebody who's operating in my truth? And when they're operating in my truth, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to patch in there and I'm going to show myself strong on their behalf. So any problem they have, that is why you can try the impossible thing. Because once you are operating according to that spirit, and in the truth of what you get out of this world, then you know, like you know, like I know, that everything I put my finger on turns to good. You can do that too, right? So get with it. Write down your dreams. Everybody will get the exercise if you have one right now. And you write down every single dream and vision that you have ever had, that you can ever remember, and you just put it down. Write it out in detail, every color, every number, how much million this, and how much red, blue, pink, and green this, every detail. No matter if you write it down wrong, you know, it doesn't matter. He judges the intent of the heart. Remember that. And so you have to be, don't be afraid of ever making a mistake. God knows where we are, he knows our capabilities, and most importantly, he knows and judges the intents of our hearts. So, that is how you know your specific dream. And you know, see me, after me don't follow them a racehorse, me take off, you know, and you can't catch me. I don't know anybody who can keep up with me. Nobody at all. Because I'm running a race. And one, the only person who can keep up with me is the person who I'm running behind. That is the spirit. And that's the only person I race with. And me just follow back at him. Because we don't want to pass him out. Because guess what? I have no clue where to turn left or right. Only when I follow back at him. So I turn right, whoops, I turn right behind him. Whoops, I turn left, I turn right behind him. Because that is the only way to stay in line. So let me tell you something. Anytime I start to veer off the way, I see some green pastures over there with some four-leaf clover. I said, I want to go and munch on and top out of the race. We do that all the time, you know. We just say, look here, we giving you permission here, Mr. Spirit. Pull me out, just come out and draw me by the neck, right? Because I take those detours pretty often. Not for long. And he understands. And he, you know, he's just there, waiting, wanting to embrace you in his plan and to empower you with everything you need. It's in the book. Everything you need. So patch in, get with it, and spend that time every single morning before day and get direction. So remember, write down before tomorrow program, you need to write down every dream that you have, that you can remember. So you're going to be writing from now until tomorrow, this time. So join me tomorrow at noon until 1 o'clock as we celebrate live on reggae2reggae.com. See you soon.
This morning, as if he's saying something to me, sitting on the limb of a tree, giving me a sound of sweet melody. I guess he's trying to tell me something that I should know about this new wind, a new wind that's gonna blow. It's a raining of the heathen coming down on my people, taking the goodness of life and rendering them evil. You see, the little that they gave you was just to deceive you.